What's going on, guys? Mine is Renixiel.
It's your boy, Robino.
Today we're here to do a movie review for two movies, actually.
Yes.
Leading up to Glass coming out, where we watched Unbreakable and Split,
Yes.
and we do a brief review and our opinions on them for the upcoming Glass movie.
Now, Rio was the one that got me into watching these two. He told me because I didn't know if I wanted to watch Glass or not until I watched the other two. So we watched both of them, and I have to say I am kind of in the middle with this trilogy. I feel like without them being a trilogy, I just wouldn't care about any movie. Not saying they're bad movies or anything like that. For some odd reason, I'm just kind of I'm still kind of speechless of what I really like about these movies. I do like the concept of what Shyamalan's trying to do, but at the same time, the way he does his movies with his camera gets on my nerves.
His camera work, or the camera work they used, was very unorthodox, unusual, like going between items. Yeah. For example, in Unbreakable, one of the first scenes you see is him talking to a woman on a train. Yeah. And the camera just goes in between the two seats, going back and forth, looking at the various characters. You see images going through plants, and you see him. You see leaves of a plant or some more shrubbery, but you see them looking at him, so it's like the camera's not there. Or it's supposed to be a candid shot or something. He does that a lot, and it's a very unique style, which I find preferable. It builds a lot of suspense and for the movie, especially what's going on and all that.
Which I didn't. I didn't mind that. I just think in Unbreakable there was too much of that. In Split it wasn't as much, so I didn't mind it. I liked when he did that, but when you do it so much in the movie, it just gets kind of.
So let's talk briefly about each movie.
Right.
Unbreakable, of course, follows Bruce Willis, who plays David Dunn, and he's going through a rocky relationship with his wife and his son, or mostly his wife, but his son's being affected. Yeah. And he, over the course of the movie, comes to realize that he is a hero or a superhero. He's never been sick, never has been injured. Yeah. He has unusually high strength, not super strength. He can't pick up a car that we know of yet. Maybe develops the skills. But never having, for example, one of the scenes in the movie is him and his son weight training, going to a weight bench, and he was surprised he was able to lift 250 pounds or something because that's as high as he's ever gone before.
No, I think
first it was 250 at first.
It was 250 first.
Or was it 300? Whatever it was.
I think it was 300.
Okay.
Sworn.
Then his son took some off, but then actually added more on. Yeah. And it was more and more. No matter what weight was put on there, eventually added to all the weights plus paint cans. He was able to lift that, not easily, but not too much struggle. He was able to struggle, grunt, and lift it up.
Yes.
He was able to do it. And so it seems like even though he's struggling each time, there's no cap to the weight he can lift. Yeah. He's never been sick. Of course, his one weakness is water. He doesn't realize it or believe it himself necessarily. Yeah. But he's instructed by Mr. Price, who's played by
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Eventually, it's called Mr. Glass. Elijah Price takes on the pseudonym Mr. Glass when he becomes a supervillain. Right. Because of his brittle bones and stuff.
Yes.
And he keeps on constantly breaking them. And Mr. Price, or Mr. Glass, if you want to call him that, comes to the realization that that he is the antithema to his super strength and invulnerability because he is always breaking his bones and all that stuff. And so he's his supervillain. He's the opposite of him. Right. So every superhero needs a supervillain to validate themselves. Right. So he took the mantle. I'll be your supervillain. He went to kill people, and he's the one who led to his realization that he was a superhero, and he actually took on the mantle, and that started it. And that's what that whole movie's about.
Yeah, because pretty much in the movie, Mr. Glass, when he was a kid, his mother gave him a comic book. Yes. And he loved comic books, and he became, very
aficionado of it. Yes. Pretty much. He knew everything about comics, the artist style.
Yes. He was very obsessed with it. So over time, I guess just like you said, he felt like he's a supervillain. And that he wanted to find a superhero to go up against him. So
I don't know if he initially thought he was a supervillain necessarily.
Well,
but he wanted to prove the existence of superheroes. And through that, he eventually came to realize that he was the opposite because he broke his bones all the time. He's brittle. He's always sick and all this stuff. Whereas he's always strong. So he's like the opposite ends of the scale. I must be his supervillain. I'll be the super genius villain to his strength.
Exactly, because in the movie he does a bunch of things like what did he do? I think he destroyed things. The last thing he did was
he caused a train accident.
He caused a train
accident
in the
beginning of the movie.
But there was something else he did.
Every incident that he's been a part of, David Dunn, that proved his vulnerability or proved his impossibility to get injured. Right. Was actually orchestrated by Mr. Elijah Price or Samuel Jackson. He manipulated this. He caused an accident. He caused a fire.
So
So maybe he was this entire time caught up in the fact that he can't die and he was a supervillain, or maybe he's just trying to prove it to him that he was a superhero, then just took on the mantle eventually near the end, realizing that he needs a villain. I don't know. Right. Overall, I thought it was a very good movie.
I thought it was too. I thought it was good. I just, for some odd reason, I can't put my finger on it. There's just something about this. It's just, I don't know.
Don't know exactly what you don't like about it. I
just
know the acting was really good. Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis playing David Dunn and Elijah Price. The son, kind of infuriating. He's played by Spencer. He played Joseph Dunn, his son. Especially in the scene where he took a gun out and tried to shoot his father to prove that he was a superhero.
Yeah. Well, that's only because most of the time in his school, all the kids, you know how all kids do. Yeah, my dad's stronger than your dad. My dad was this throughout the movie. So, but then of course, Mr. Glad or Elijah Price, he tells him, yeah, you got powers. And of course, he believes it. So now he's thinking, oh, my dad's really strong. But I mean, that's.
The story was a little slow, but of course that builds on the suspense, the music, the eeriness, the walking around staring, the talking, the eventual build up to the overall movie. Right. And that exact same thing transfers over to Split.
Yes.
The build of the suspense, the very slow movie. And this movie, do you want to talk about this one?
Well, I gotta remember what's the dude's name? No, it's the horse. Wait, did he actually have a name? His real name was
Well, it depends. He had multiple names. He had all those names on the list over there. But James McAvoy played the Horde,
Well, he played Dennis, Patricia, Edward, the Beast, Kevin, Crumb, Barry, Orel, and Jade. That's a lot of people.
He had 24, or if you include the Beast, 24, technically 23 personalities.
Yeah.
And those are the only ones that they actually played. The other ones that they didn't portray were part of his personality, but he didn't have to play those. But anyway, it follows 3 girls getting kidnapped.
Yes.
For unknown reason. We don't know what happened. We just know they were taken prisoner. They wake up, and it slowly unravels to being this guy has multiple personalities.
Right.
Because they see a woman. Okay, maybe she can help us. Yeah. They call out. She comes in, and it's the same character, James McAvoy, but wearing a dress and heels. He's playing Patricia at that point.
Yes.
And you build it up. All of them are sleeping. You wake up, and there's James McAvoy in like a sweater or jacket sitting in their bed just staring at him. That has to be the 9-year-old Hedwig. So it just keeps on building up, and then you realize this guy's not normal. There's something on. It eventually leads up to the creation of the Beast, which is the monster, hyper-evolved creature, which is actually an amalgamation of all the animals in the zoo in personality. He can climb walls. It's tough skin like rhinoceroses. He can be damaged by guns, but is far more impervious than humans are to gunshots. Mm-hmm. Super strength, he's able to bend metal bars and all that. And but that eventually builds up, and it shows the personalities, Dennis and Patricia, who are the Horde, who are trying to summon or facilitate the Beast. And the other personalities, the other 21, 22 personalities are saying, no, it can't happen. We like our life, kind of. Yeah. We are struggling, but we're not evil. We don't want this to happen.
Right.
And then the whole thing transpires of these girls trying to survive, trying to escape.
Yeah.
The other these personalities trying to facilitate the Beast coming out. So there's not really much going on other than a time crunch. We know it's happening eventually. Yeah. This is the story. This is leading up to when the Beast arrives.
Yeah, pretty much the whole movie, you just see him kind of talking to the girls with different personalities. And then, of course, he goes back to his therapist and talks to her, saying everything's fine because he was sending her emails. Well, Dennis, one of his
personalities.
One of his personalities was sending him. He would go there and be like, "Oh no, that's not true."
The other personalities was sending help messages when they were asleep. The Dennis had to take over and act like Barry, who was the leader of the personalities.
I thought Dennis was sending him. No. Also the other personalities were sending it to him.
Saying we're in trouble, the Horde trying to take over, whatever else. So Dennis had to go and act like everything was fine. Yeah. It's fine. I was having a depressed moment. There's no issue.
There was a lot of personalities. That's why I was getting kind of confused. I was like, wait, who's this guy again? Because some of them kind of acted the same, just a little bit similar. So I'm going to get confused.
You only really saw 3 or 4, though. You only saw 3. You saw Dennis. When he played Barry occasionally, but it was still Dennis. You saw Patricia, and you saw Hedwig.
There was a couple more.
Near the end of the movie, the others started coming out as well. All the ones portrayed here in the videos.
Yeah.
But the only 3 we saw, and for most of the movie, was Dennis, Patricia, and Hedwig. Even Barry, we never even saw Barry.
Yeah.
Until at the end of the movie as well.
Right.
Or realized it was Barry because the same actor. But anyway, it's all confusing. And of course, led to the Beast becoming active, him getting away, and the final scene, which we realize is all in the same universe because of them sitting in a diner, them looking at the news article saying what the horrible event that happened at Philadelphia Zoo, and also you see Bruce Willis character saying, "Oh, they're talking about Mr. Glass. His name is Mr. Glass. 50 years ago, put away." Then he stares at the camera, and that's what the credits start rolling. Yeah. then you realize, oh, this is the same universe. Mr. Glass, and it's going to be wheeled up. This is a trilogy series. Unbreakable and Split are the same movies. And now they're coming with the Glass movie, which is the third part of the trilogy, explaining what happened. We all seen the trailer for it, I believe. I think.
Yes.
And yeah, so
yeah, I mean, after watching,
that's
what I'm saying. After watching those two movies, which is one of the main reasons why I only watched it, because I want to see Mr. Glass and see the whole ending. But that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much the only reason why. These movies by themselves, there's no way I would watch it. I would totally be kind of like really uninterested. But at the same time, knowing that Mr. Glass is coming, and then watching the first and second movie, knowing that, oh, okay, so they're pretty much trying to make it where superheroes do exist. Well, not superheroes, but people with special abilities do exist. And what I really love about about both of these movies, especially the first one, was it was like with Bruce Willis' character, Dale, right? Is it Dale?
Bruce Willis was Dennis.
Dennis, right? Well, what I really liked about
David
Dunn.
David.
Oh, David Dunn. My bad.
I mean, Dennis from the Split.
Yeah. Well, David Dunn. What I really liked about this was, he's not really an actual superhero, but at the same time, he has special abilities that someone could have. Somebody could really bend metal. Like, you can actually have the strength to do it.
Who can survive a train accident that killed literally every other person?
There's a possibility to
I wouldn't say he's a superhero. He's not like Superman. He's not like picking a car and throwing a car.
Not that, but that's what I like
Maybe
about.
He's a superhuman. He's like slightly above human abilities.
That's what I like about this movie. It's kind of like a realistic superhero thing.
Well, that's what Mr. Elijah Price said in the first movie.
Yeah.
All the comic books are simply exaggerated tales of real events.
Right.
So, yeah, Superman can fly, he can throw cars.
Right.
Maybe that's portrayed from a person picking up a car off a person and throwing the car over. Not picking it up, but just, like, lifting it up.
Yeah.
Oh, someone saw that, jotted down or wrote it down and make a story out of it.
Yeah.
Someone saw it and made a comic out of it, and it just got exaggerated over time to sell comics. So it's more interesting having a superhero throw cars rather than some normal person pick up a car for a reason, or just flip the car over.
Right.
So all comics are exaggerated tales of real events that happened.
Right.
Is what Elijah Price was saying. I keep calling him Mr. Glass and Elijah Price. But anyway.
But yeah, man. I mean, like again, I'm gonna watch Mr. Glass. Hopefully, this will give me a completion of this trilogy.
Get some insight to what the movie's going on. If you watch the movie without seeing these other ones first, it might make some sense, but it's better to think the origins of what happened, why they exist. Why does the Horde or the Beast, whatever his name is going to go by in this one, exist as he is? Why is he like that? Why does he have D.I.D. or dissociative identity disorder?
Yeah.
Why is Bruce Willis, David Dunn in there? I mean, obviously he looks like a normal person. He looks like a superhero.
He doesn't. He looks like a regular guy, but at the same time,
So, yeah. Overall, I really like both of these movies. They're not like amazing movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kind of like.
But they're not.
I like
bad.
the concept of what M. Night Shyamalan's trying to do, but for some odd reason, his movies are just weird.
What's the point? They
just
offer a unique perspective. His perspective.
Yeah.
The camera angles,
but it's like he's trying so
storytelling.
hard, though. I don't know what it is. It's like he's trying too hard. This has great potential, but when I watch it, it's like he's trying to. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. It's just.
I liked them all together.
I mean, I like them. That's
I like
what I'm
the build
saying.
up, the suspense, everything.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I like it, but for some odd reason, it's like he's trying so hard. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I don't know why I feel this way. It's like
I just feel like his style to me. Just like he's trying too hard.
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. His style is very weird sometimes. It's just weird to me.
You're just not accustomed to it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
These movies are better than some of his other movies he's come out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say that.
But anyway. So, these movies only made me more excited to watch Glass.
Yes, I can't wait to watch Glass.
Looking forward to that. Anything else you want to say?
Oh, no, I got nothing to say, man.
Alright, if you're watching this on my channel, go check out Rubino's channel, linked down in the description below. And also go check out Fear About Gaming, our gaming channel. We do a lot of gaming content, Let's Plays, and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out.
And also check out my other channel, Kid Rubino. I do a lot of stuff where I watch cartoons and animes and do reviews on them and show off some stuff I liked as a kid. So
sounds exciting. Alright, so once again, thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next movie review or trailer reaction. We do. Bye.
Peace out.